Here's a statement you can't simply deny. The past matters, and as a man, you know this very well. From the moment you were born, society has called you a good-for-nothing scumbag and a whole lot of names and insults. That's why men are pretty much Mr. Nobodies. They gotta start from the bottom and build empires. If they don't do the work, sorry, but they ain't getting nothing. Most men are like you, good people who just want to build good lives for themselves. Broke? Fat? Weirdo? Nah, no concessions. Just improve yourself to be successful. Contrastingly, modern women don't do the job they're required to be really desirable. I mean, maybe for a few hookups, but not to nurture your kids and turn your house into a home. This is nothing new, although there's something interesting. The average modern woman is a liar, hiding her past as much as she can. Why? Well, you can jump to your own conclusions, but here's the reality.
Men have a big stake in a woman's past. That's just how it is. Just like you have a big stake in a man's earning potential, his height, his ability to provide security, a man has a big stake in you being able to provide security that the kids are his in the future, which is contingent upon your past. And a lot of modern day women don't like to hear this. It's the truth. You want a man with a future? I want a woman that doesn't have a past. And this is how 99% of men feel. Lil Durk went on $1 Million a Game yesterday and said he wiped up Asia. Why? Because she doesn't have a high body count. Women all over the place. That's fucked up. That's ridiculous. So wait, hold on. Let's get this straight. This man busts his ass, living in Chicago, almost getting killed several times, gang war, etc., becomes a multimillionaire, is a rapper, went through and dealt with a bunch of adversity, and he simply requires his girl don't have a high body count, which, by the way, is in her control.
Yeah.
And the whole world, oh, you toxic asshole. Why is it that male preferences are demonized, but women preferences are always put to the front? Their hedonism, I want to live my life, blah, blah, blah. You can live your life, but you might miss the opportunity to live your life with a husband and kids. And that's what I want women to know.
Why female promiscuity is more looked down upon than male promiscuity. Let's say, for example, you're a man and you have 10 wives. You know that if those 10 women have children, they're all the one guy's kid. However, if one woman has 10 husbands, you can't determine who the father is, historically speaking, yes. Now, we have paternity tests, we can establish who the father is. However, that doesn't undo hundreds of thousands of years of evolution and just culture and society where we want to be able to guarantee paternity. That's a real fear that men have that women can never experience, a paternity uncertainty. So that's why men have a stronger revulsion, like instinct to promiscuity.
I'm sure all these women are concerned about a man's income, yet they don't want men to be concerned about her past, the world of double standards. You guessed it. In today's video, we're delving into the snaky reasons why women hide their sexual past and why men are increasingly growing wary of the lack of integrity and sexual discipline of modern women. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to the DJ Great Hat 3082. He said, "But you wanted equality, right? You got what you wanted, but you lost what you had. Couldn't have said it better myself." Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for that comment of the day. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps a lot. And now, back to the video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
Alright, let's dive right into it because there's a conversation that needs to be had, and it's not one that society often encourages because women want to be accepted just as they are. But you as a man gotta work your ass off. Brace yourselves, because we're about to dismantle some double standards and shine a light on the complex web of hypocrisy that's been promoted around modern relationships. You've heard it all. From the moment you took your first breath, you've been hit with labels like good for nothing, scumbag, and a whole lot of insults. Society has this desire for making men feel like they've got to start from the bottom if they want to build empires. No shortcuts here, fellas. If you want success, you gotta earn it. And you know what? Most men are on board with that. just regular folks trying to carve out a decent life for themselves. There's no free pass for us. If you're broke, out of shape, or a bit of an oddball, tough luck. It's time to level up and become a success story. Now, let's shift the spotlight to the ladies. Well, ladies are nowhere to be found, really. I mean, modern women, right? They've got a different playbook, it seems. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting a few hookups, different strokes for different folks after all. But when it comes to the long haul, building a home, raising a family, well, let's just say that's where things start to get interesting. Have you ever noticed how women can be mighty concerned about a man's income, but heaven forbid if a man starts to ask questions about her past? Oh no, that's a huge no-no. You're so intolerant. Talk about double standards in action. It's like society is playing a game where the rules are different for each team, and that brings us to the real topic of today's video. Why do women hide their sexual past like it's a treasure chest of secrets? And why are men increasingly skeptical of the integrity and sexual discipline of modern women? But hey, before we go any further and you're loving the video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and show some love. Now, let's continue. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. Why do some women feel the need to sweep their past under the rug? Is it societal pressure, a desire to be seen as a certain type of partner, or perhaps a mix of both? You see, there's this interesting dance happening where society champions progress and empowerment, yet there's still a stigma attached to women who openly embrace their own experiences. It's as if we've entered a time warp where hypocrisy is the currency of the day. But let's be real here. In a world that's supposedly all about authenticity and equality, the narrative seems to shift when it comes to women and their past. It's like there's an invisible script telling women that it's okay to be empowered, but only to a certain extent. Express yourself, but don't reveal too much. Own your history, but only share the parts that fit the mold. It's enough to make your head spin. Women are encouraged to sleep around as a way to know themselves, but when a man they date asks them about their sexual past, they do whatever is in their power to hide it. Female empowerment, but not so much.
How would you feel if one of your women had a body count like yours, or was...
I wouldn't have dated her in the first place.
What if you didn't
You
know?
wouldn't date her in the first place?
She would never have come on my radar in the first place.
What did they...
No, I'm serious. Like,
No equal standards here.
seriously. No, the reality isn't equal.
Perfect.
You can, okay. Tell me how many 18-year-old men are getting invited onto yachts and are invited to the club's tables and shit. 0 of them. But it's full of pretty young girls. That shit ain't fair either. So the moment you start fixing that, cool, then I'll take that comment seriously. But until then, it doesn't make sense.
You have been dating your girl for however long, 5 years. You take her to Turks and Caicos.
Mm-hmm.
You open up her phone and you've seen something from 10 years ago. You're calling it off.
Of course, that's gonna change your entire attitude and perspective on your woman. She went from innocent flower to garbage dump.
And then we arrive at the grand finale. Men. Some men are raising an eyebrow, not because women have a past, because let's face it, we all do, but because there's a certain aura of secrecy around it. It's not about the past itself, but the honesty and transparency that they believe relationships should be built on. We're living in an age where connections are prized, yet it's hard to connect when you're left wondering what's behind the curtain. If women want honesty, why can't they offer it themselves? This is getting men messed up and honestly quite sick and tired of modern women. Knowing that your girl is lying to you after months or even years of relationships is not cool. So men are doing all they can to screen out women. A decent man like you values his time, and we ain't got no time for 304s. Just standards, nothing else. It's like a cosmic game of hide and seek, and everyone's in on it. Women hide their past, men feel misled, and the cycle continues. But here's the kicker. It doesn't have to be this way. Honesty doesn't need to be sacrificed on the altar of conformity. Relationships, whether they're casual or serious, thrive on trust and open communication. This happens only in a minority of cases, though. Now, let's move on to something that will raise your eyebrows. Clown World coming through, I warn you. Here's an article titled, How to Hide a Promiscuous Past from Your New Man. Let's check it out. Sometimes the sex is so slamming you can't risk scaring him off. Here's what you gotta do. First of all, let's make one thing perfectly clear. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being a slut. The fact is that you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And in this year of 2023, people are free to experience sex no matter their color or creed. Also, your current partner is the only person it could possibly concern, and that means that a wild ride is by definition the past. In an ideal world, men wouldn't care about our number whatsoever, but seeing as this is still a white supremacist patriarchy, we're going to go ahead and assert that men absolutely will find an issue with the women having scored numbers on the higher end of the slut spectrum. Yeah, blaming all the white males in the fictitious patriarchy. So original. 1. Try to find out the number of people he has slept with. If it's more than what you've bagged so far, chill. You don't have to say anything. Number 2, lie. It's that simple. Important, and then follow up with an almost virginal act, but don't overdo it. These are the women that want open communication and honesty. Number 3, tell all if you must, but with a twist, like promoting a couple of bonks to an old boyfriend status. That way, you can get down to telling tales of about 2 or 3 men in total. Number 4, tell the truth. Maybe. Some men are actually not bothered by a woman's lively past, but before you tell all, be sure that you're dating one such. How do you find out? Well, is he hot? Number 5, pretend past lovers were terrible. And even if you have decided to reveal everything, remember that when you didn't enjoy it very much either. It's not that it didn't mean anything, it's just that with him it means so much more. So tamper your truth or dare with a bit of "baby, you're the best" always goes down well. Number 6, and say they abused you. Don't let your man think too critically when you're being creative with the truth. Toy with his emotions by hinting or even saying outright that a lot of these old boyfriends abused you. Used and abused women. Sorry, not interested. Go to therapy, not to the carousel. Number 7, do your cyber op sec and do it right. You already knew to prune any evidence from your social media, but I bet you didn't know you should also create a plausible cover story for missing information or blocks of time. Blaming it on an ex hacking and vandalizing your accounts after a bad breakup is the good old trusty, but you can really cook with your creative juices here. The more elaborate and pre-planned the story, the harder it will be to crack for your new dude's prodding questions. Here's an answer to every question. Most importantly, have fun. So there you have it, fellas. Women don't bother hiding their tactics. Sometimes they reveal them right away. You gotta prove to her that you can grant her an amazing lifestyle, but she can lie about her past without a problem. No wonder why men don't want relationships anymore. Number 8, and finally, always bring trusted friends in on the conspiracy. One more thing, make sure your friends are briefed. You don't want to be in a social situation where one of them suddenly blurts out, "Do you remember when we were in Ibiza and you did it with 3 men on one night in front of your man?" If that's the case, run. No stupid jokes allowed. When a man plays with a woman's feelings, he's the worst person ever. But when a woman does this to an innocent man, it's all good. Like, make it make sense. Women hide their sexual past because if men know about it, they're likely to be repulsed and say goodbye without even looking back. A woman with a past means a relationship with no future.
Does that make sense? Even though you probably don't want to accept it?
No.
So what men want...
You can't compare a future with someone's past. Like, your past you can't change, a future you can change.
But who makes the decisions in the past?
We do,
because you made that decision in the past.
But have you not?
Well, you know what? How about this? By your logic, you know what? Let's just let sex offenders roam the streets, Latin label them.
Whoa,
you know?
That's shooting.
Whoa, no. I'm using your logic. The past doesn't matter, bro.
I'm not a criminal because I'm a host. Because I've slept around.
Let's use your logic.
Why don't you date a rapist and a murderer then?
Yeah.
Because that's a criminal.
No. It's passionate matter, right?
Passionate matter.
No.
Passionate matter.
Date a rapist and a murderer then.
Y'all try to take one end of the spectrum and then take a different end of the spectrum.
We're going by your rules. We're going by your rules.
Oh, how about this? How about you go ahead and date a guy that used to suck dick for money?
What is your body count so far this year?
So it's
Okay, July 6th. So I've been with about a person each day for the last like 6-7 months.
Why? I already know guys are gonna say this is satire, like this is sad, but there's like actual studies on this. Girls will use dudes for food and shit, but it's a joke, girl. Oh, this must be, yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, to the people that actually know this goes on, okay, when people tell me, yo, man, the past doesn't matter, even though girls will literally want to know how much a man makes, right? I laugh, okay, because someone's past directly correlates to how they'll be and how they'll treat you in the future. For example, do you think somebody, right, who fell in love, number one, right, is going to then treat you the same way, right, how they fell in love with number one, with you being number 50? Is number 50 going to be treated the same way number one was? No.
If we're all victims of society, then why should anyone be held accountable for their actions, including men?
I'm a man hater. These are not questions for me.
Why are you a man hater? A lot of women today a lot of women hate men today, right?
Because they all cheat. They all lie. They all do you dirty, go behind your back.
Okay, what if I said that all women are gold diggers? Would that be okay?
Oh, I mean, a lot of them are. I can't disagree with you.
So then why is it more socially acceptable for women to hate men than it is for men to hate women?
I wouldn't say it's more socially acceptable. I would say, I don't know. If men hate women, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean...
I'm not really big on a lot of the things that are going on in the actual world today. You know, I live in my own little world, and I think that more people should just worry about what they're doing and not like what everyone else is doing. And they should take accountability for things, except for me, you know, because I know everything. So.
Women are know-it-alls, and they know very well that their past does matter to smart men who want wives, not hoes. Women lie, cheat, and do nasty stuff, but they think they can get away with it by saying that some men do all that too. Women hide their pasts because they know men will not accept them if they've been around the block. To wrap up this video, let's go through a comment of the article that pretty much debunks all of these myths that sleeping around is awesome for women. Silver Wraith said, for all three cohorts, women who married as virgins had the lowest divorce rates by far. 11% of virgin marriages, on the part of the women at least, in the 1980s dissolved within 5 years. This number fell to 8% in the 1990s, then fell again to 6% in the 2000s. For all 3 decades, the women with the second lowest 5-year divorce rates are those who had only one partner prior to marriage. Wolfinger's data revealed that in the 1980s and 1990s, the highest 5-year divorce rates were reserved for women who had 2 partners. The effect was particularly strong in the 1980s when these women had divorce rates of 28%, substantially higher than those of their peers who had 10 or more sex partners prior to marriage, 18%. The highest 5-year divorce rates of all are associated with marrying in the 2000s and having 10 or more premarital sex partners, 33%. Perhaps it is not unexpected that having many partners increases the odds of divorce. The greater surprise is that this only holds true in recent years. Previously, women with 2 partners prior to marriage had the highest divorce rates, said Wolfinger. The evidence is out there, but modern women are in denial of facts, as if they were special for thinking that they can simply snap their fingers and become born-again virgins. That ain't happening anytime soon. The past matters, and men care about it a lot.
Women are in a completely different position than they were, 50 years ago. So it's a different role for them, and they try to take on this masculine type role, not on purpose, but they take on this masculine type role and this boss type role when a man doesn't want no boss type role. We want you to be a wife. We want you to be a nurturer. We want you to listen to us. Like, that's the type of things that men look for. And y'all think we want PhDs and masters and all this good stuff when that's cool and it's great to have. But we don't look at that when we're trying to build a household. We trying to get some extra, like, if we know we're gonna build a household, we need you to come in, pick out the furniture, pick out the drags, pick up, hang stuff on the wall, do the things that you are great at. The heavy load part, the heavy lifting, we got that. And if that man can't carry the heavy load, then that's not somebody that you should be with.
Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.